Yo, what's good, y'all? My name is Mo, and welcome back to another Medicine for All video. It's a brand new day. How y'all doing today? It's Monday. It's Motivational Monday. Today, I was thinking that I switch it up a little bit on my channel. I kind of wanted to add some study videos in my channel. I know a lot of people have been wondering, what do you do in medical school? And a big part of what I do is study a lot. So I wanted to add this thing called Study With Me. Basically, I study, you study. It's a good time. So today I am studying pathology. When I study pathology, so specifically I'm studying liver pathology. And when I study pathology, I notice a lot of times you gotta look at the pictures. That's a big part of pathology, is the pictures. So I like to really get into the pictures. So right now I'm doing something called memorying, and there's a lot of ways you could do it. You could do multiple choice, you could do flashcards, you could play games on it or something like that. I like to do multiple choice. So yeah, when I study, I like to have all the handouts and all the class notes all open on my tab and kind of just go back and forth between what's the question and what's in the lecture. So when I don't understand a question or I don't see what's going on, as you can see right here, I'm kind of just going back into the handout and seeing what they said, why they said it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So then I move on. So this lecture was just giving me a hard time. I think mainly because liver pathology is just, or pathology in general, it's just one of those things where you just have to keep seeing it over and over and over until you finally get it. And you see some things and it looks very similar to the next thing. So we look at these things called pathology slides or histology, like microanatomy, like slides, tissue slides. And you got to recognize that, oh, came from the liver, and this is inflammation or cancer or lots of things it could be. And one of the major things that pathologists do is diagnose all these problems, and they could tell just by looking at the tissue under a microscope. It's pretty cool. My last resort when I just have no idea what's going on. Good old Google. Sometimes you just gotta Google it, and not a lot of times you're gonna find the answer, but sometimes you will. I can tell I'm really struggling on this question. But after a while, seeing over and over, you start to get it. That's one of the best parts of studying. Is at first it's really hard, but as you do it more and more and more and more, it starts to become easy. So today I am studying in the library. I like to switch it up. Sometimes I study in the library. Sometimes I study in these lab rooms that we have at our school. Sometimes I like to study in lounges. Sometimes I study in the basement. I like to study at a lot of different spots. Pathology is always one of those, or cells in general, just one of those, like if you're a big picture person, not big picture, but like if you really like pictures, pathology is really one of those things where you just look at pictures all day, and it's kind of interesting. Like that liver. Can you imagine all your liver looking like this? It's crazy how a lot of things can happen to our bodies, and that's one of the reasons why I was drawn to medicine. It's really crazy how the body works. So when I study, I like to study in 45-minute blocks. There's this thing called Pomodoro, if you have heard of it. And basically what you do is you could study for a set time, and then you take a break for a set time. So I think the normal method is to study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break, and study for another 25 minutes, and then take another 5-minute break. Me, I find that 45 minutes is a good time for me. When I study for 25 minutes and then I take the 5-minute break, I feel like I have to like get out of the zone and then I gotta get back into the zone, and it's too much. So I like to study for 45 minutes and then take a 10-15 minute break. And then that's another thing, in 5 minutes it's barely enough time to go to the bathroom or refill your water. You really can't get much of a break. You can't really eat or anything like that. So I think 45 minutes works for me. So right now I am still doing Coley or Memorank. It's the app that has flashcards and it has multiple choice and games. I vary my study. I mainly study OnKey. OnKey is a big study tool in my school and a lot of medical schools. And I think OnKey is really great actually. In medical school, it's a lot of quick, lots of information being thrown at you. As you can see by all these pictures of certain things, and you have to just know it. I don't know how else to say it. You just gotta know it. So OnKey, I find OnKey a way to help me know lots of information very quickly. So I just finished the Memorank flashcards, and it is time to move on to the OnKey deck. Like I said, I really do like OnKey. It is the way my flashcards are organized is I use closed flashcards. So you really try to answer one word, like it's basically like a fill in the blank. I find that helps me concentrate on learning just that one word rather than seeing a whole flashcard and trying to memorize everything on that flashcard. It, in the long run, it helps rather than trying to see a whole flashcard, and it's hard to memorize a lot of words on one flashcard, so I like using those closed definitions. I think right now I found a new picture that I've never seen. So I went back to Coley to see if that was something that was presented before. That picture threw me off guard. But this is why I like to vary my studying. Sometimes you got things in OnKey that you don't see in the memorang, and then you got things in memorang that you don't see in OnKey. You got a lot of learning, a lot of different angles. But once again, OnKey is king. Sometimes when I study, you might notice that I'm talking or saying words out loud. I like to say the word or try to pronounce the words. Some of these words are hard to pronounce, and if I can't pronounce it, it's really hard for me to know what it is. So sometimes you might see me saying things or pronouncing these words just to hear it again, just to hear myself say it. And that's another technique that I like to use to help me learn. If you notice on the bottom left of the screen that I look at, there, sometimes you see the good right there, but then there's sometimes some pictures in these little green boxes. And if you look close enough, you can see that those pictures are pictures of dogs or puppies. It's like a funny picture with a puppy, and cranking out lots of OnKey cards, and seeing those funny pictures after tearing 20-30 OnKey cards. It's the little things that keep you motivated. So I am very close to finishing this OnKey deck. I think I got about 10 more cards to go. Sometimes I like to repeat the OnKey deck on the same day that I learn it. Sometimes I might wait till the next day to repeat it. Sometimes I might wait for a whole week before I repeat it. It really just depends on how much time I have. But definitely is important to repeat the cards. But I think I got about 5, I can't really see, about 5 more cards to go. It's always a good feeling, but just gotta do it again. Just keep crying out those OnKey cards. Oh, there it goes. I finished it. I think this time I might take a break, move on, see what's next. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gives you a little bit of motivation from when you study. It is Motivational Monday, and if you like the video, please leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and as always, have a great weekend.